Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I wanna buy you something, but I don't have any money. No, I don't have any money. I want to buy you something, but I don't have any money. No, I don't have any money. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa. Hello, Vegesayan. Vegesayan. Nice to meet you. Put this away. Gonna drink my water. Because I am a hydro homie, even though I'm drinking out of a Raising Cane's Halloween cup. It glows in the dark too, by the way, which is super dope. Like, Jack in the Box was originally going to give me like a color changing cup that comes with the Monster Munchie meal, but apparently they ran out. So I'm going to change this cup into this cup because I want at least something to be Halloweeny about this meal. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. I am so good. I'm a professional. So now I could throw this cup away. And now I could drink out of this cup. But I kind of need a straw. Can this lid fit? Oh, it does! Look at that! This lid fits this cup. Okay, put that there. Dr. Pepper. Nice, nice. I got my ranch. And get ready for lunch today, guys. I got the Monster Munchie meal. Apparently, this thing is so massive that it doesn't even fit in the box. Like, this thing is struggling to stay closed. Like, look at how, like, folded on it is. Dream On, Cravings. I've always been a fan of the Munchie meal box just because, you know, it has a cooler vibe. Late night. And then right here, caution, hot, delicious food inside. Slayer on Hunter says, I've been playing the new zombie mode in Marvel Rivals. Ooh, nice. What's for lunch? Tacos, I'm guessing? Like, let's pop this thing open, shall we? All I know is that it's the Monster Munchie meal. And whoa, this is actually quite a lot of food. I see some nuggets over here, some curly fries. They gave me an egg roll. Not bad, not bad. Let me take a seat. I'm trying to sit down for my meal. Anyways, how is everybody doing? Totally forgot to put the the freaking mic thing. Curly fries are always good. Curly fries are always really good. I'm gonna try this egg roll though. I never had an egg roll from Jack in the Box before. This egg roll is really good. I like it. I wonder how it would taste with some ranch. Because ranch is probably one of my top 10 favorites in terms of like dipping sauces. Because ranch is good on everything. You could put them on curly fries. You could dip them in chicken nuggets. But what about egg rolls? How is it with egg rolls? It's pretty good. Even though you're not really supposed to eat egg rolls with ranch. So, Slayron Hunter, how is the new zombie mode in Marvel Rivals? I hear it's pretty good. Actually, I have to update my Marvel Rivals. Let me see if it's actually updated. I also need to play some more games. I need to get back to doing live streams again. I haven't live streamed on Twitch in like so long. Oh, yeah. See, there it is, the update. Well, I guess I need to update that. What if I played Fortnite? Would you guys like it if I played Fortnite right now? Because Fortnite has like this Demon Rush mode. They also have their Halloween map right now. And I just recently bought a new skin, the Ghost Peely. Because, you know, I'm the Peely fanatic. But now it's time for the creme de la creme. The main course. The Monster Taco. Which, by the way, has this super dope little monster Jack-in-the-Box. Just an idea. How about a top 10 Brony collectible merch that are now hard to find? One of the items would be the BronyCon exclusive scarf. Ooh, that's a good idea, but how the hell could I even start with the research? Because there's so many things that that I would imagine are already hard to find. But there's also so many things that I would imagine are also like never even talked about, you know? Like exclusive signatures and things like that. You know, people who collected like John Delancey's signature and Tara Strong's signature on a DVD Blu-ray of the very first Brony documentary, you know, things like that. And also, what would constitute it as being more rare than the other? Like, that's another thing I'm trying to think. Slayron Hunter says, I'm now craving to play Metal Gear Solid 5. Ooh, Metal Gear. Metal Gear. What made you crave Metal Gear? We were talking about Brony exclusive items. Ooh. This taco is definitely heavier than their usual tacos. Than their usual, like, dollar tacos. But even though they're not really a dollar. It's like a hyperfixation, which happened to me with Bakugan Battle Brawlers. Oh, you're talking about getting a hyperfixation right now for Metal Gear Solid 5. Okay. That's also understandable. Very doable. Right now, I have a hyperfixation on this taco right here. This is a really good taco. Or rare Brony merch. Yeah. Definitely, like, convention exclusive merch that is no longer available is definitely going to be at the top of the list. You know, like you said, BronyCon scarves. That's perfect. BronyCon t-shirts, maybe. other pony, or not, in the, other pony conventions that are no longer running. You know, pony cons that are, you know, long gone, retired. Any of their merch totally would already be rare at this point. Or maybe stuff from like the very first year. Like, do you think it would be considered rare if someone got one of those shirts that said, "I survived Las Pegasus Con, and all I got were these lousy wings"? Like, as much of a train wreck that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So a lot of people are gonna never have that ever again. Or rare brony merch. Yeah. One of my favorite brony merch sellers is a dude named Silver Slinger, who used to make some really good jewelry back in the day. Very good friends with like My Little Ties as well, and I saw like My Little Ties also is kind of like on the same Bandcamp. But he's retired now, so I'm pretty sure anything made by Silver Slinger is probably going to be super rare now, because he used to be really good. Hell, he even made a few like pendants for me, and yeah, now that he's gone, I can't get that anymore. These are really good tacos. What if it's the very first BronyCon like? Is it Legendary Keep? Probably. I mean, BronyCon is kind of the biggest one. But I think it's also the biggest one because, one, it had the documentary take care of it. And two, it got the name BronyCon. It beat all the other cons with the name who wanted that name, BronyCon. There we go. That looks a little better. Now I look like Charlie. Dude, should I grow out my facial hair? That would be pretty funny, actually. I'm gonna need my other monster taco. But you know what? I think I'm gonna make this monster taco even more of a monster. Anything from We Love Fine is practically hard to find. That's so funny. Because We Love Fine used to actually be the easiest way. Check it out. Chicken nugget in a taco. Chicken nugget in a taco. Curly fries in a taco. Curly fries in the taco. Pour some of the ranch into the taco. There's no more ranch left. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Will it taco? That is the question. Sadly, I ate all of my egg roll, and they only gave me one egg roll, so I'm making my own monster taco with everything that's inside of this Munchie box. So literally, dip it in the cola? Well, I guess technically that's true. The cola is part of the Munchie meal. So I got the ranch, I got the chicken nugget, I got the curly fries inside this monster taco. And now I'm gonna dip it in the cola. Well, it's technically not cola, it's Dr. Pepper. But here we go. Nice little dip. Dippy dip. Like, you can see that. It's dripping. All right, here we go. I'm not faking it. Hi there, Elijah Walton. this is what I'm eating today. The soda didn't make it bad, but it did give it a weird aftertaste. Which is kind of a shame because I was kind of rooting for the soda to actually be like a secret, and now it becomes a new life hack, but no. It's delicious though. Like, honestly, this monster taco, I took a bite like literally right into one of the chicken nuggets. It's so good. What restaurant is that from? Good old Jack in the Box. Because they have this monster munchie meal. Because you know I'm on the hunt for Halloween themed foods. You know. Oh. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, dude, that's delicious. Mmm. Apparently enough, the original Derpy Hooves messenger bag from We Love Fine is expensive. Evidently, I saw it on eBay for like $6. Wow, interesting. Fanatic Mitchell says, Watch Pony, next month, along with 90s X-Men animated voice actors, the voice actors for Jimmy Neutron, Squidward, Ed and Nettie, and Rob Paulson are going to show up, and I'm going to meet them. Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. Dude, I love meeting voice actors of my childhood cartoons. Also, I recently was watching a clip from Jimmy Neutron. I don't know why this randomly scene just popped up. But do you remember the episode where they all went to Egypt? And they were like, let's have an Egyptian beach party. And then they played this whole song of where they were like, Egyptian beach party, ooh, beach party, hanging loose on the Nile, ooh, beach party, Egyptian beach party, ooh, beach party, you can make the Sphinx smile, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Coincidentally, I cooked taquitos. Oh, that's great, Elijah. That's so cool. Slayer on Hunter, my brain just reminded me that there is one woman who dipped her chicken in soda and ate it. Really? I'm pretty sure there's more than one woman who dipped her chicken in soda. Because, I don't know, people are weird. This is probably the first time I ever dipped a taco into soda. But I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, I dipped my burger into soda. I know for a fact I dipped my hot dog in soda before. But that was because I was in a hot dog eating contest. And one of the stats is to literally dip your hot dog so the bread gets wet. Because if you're eating dry hot dog buns, it takes forever to eat. And if you're in a hot dog eating competition, you have to eat as fast as possible. So that was really funny. But yeah, this is my first time ever dipping a taco into soda. And I probably won't do it again. Or I don't know, I guess it depends on the soda because or no, it depends on the taco because hard shell tacos is probably the best kind of taco to dip into soda. I can't believe I can't believe we're having this conversation. Oh, you meant $600. Oh, I thought you meant $6. I was going to be like, dude, $6 for a derpy messenger bag? Like, hell yeah. Actually, I have one of those. I have one of those derpy messenger bags. I also gave away a lot of my pony merch to like Goodwill, you know, because I'm like a minimalist. I don't like keeping a lot of stuff, so I always like throw away a lot of my stuff. I am guilty for dipping bread in soda. Dude, this bread is like a forgivable. Like you could dip bread into soda. If you dip like a hot dog without bread, that's weird. That I'm sorry, that is just confirmed weird. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Fanatic Mitchell says, Watch Pony. The next voice actor I want to meet is Veronica Taylor, the voice actress for April O'Neil from TMNT 2003, I know she's mostly known for Pokemon, but I'm not a Pokemon fan. Hey, that's cool, Fanatic Mitchell. Veronica Taylor. Hell yeah. That's an awesome VA. Oh. Mm. 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 This is a genius idea. Like, I'm biting into the fries, the nuggets. These tacos deserve to have, um, nuggets inside them. Dipping crap in soda is weird to me. Oh yeah, I agree. It's very weird. But that's why I want to ask you, chat. What is the weirdest thing you've ever dipped into soda and then you ate it? Um, I think for me it would probably be hot dog. Again, I don't know if as a kid I dipped a burger into soda. Because I'm pretty sure it was like a McDonald's like hamburger. It was just cheese and bread, and I just dipped it and I just ate it. I have vague memories of that when I was like a little itty bitty boy, but I don't know. I can't confirm it. Um, but yeah, chat. Tell me, chat. What is the weirdest thing you've ever dipped inside of soda, and then you drank, and then you ate, and then you ate it? I never dipped nuggets. I never dipped pizza. I never dipped fries into soda. I dipped fries into a vanilla milkshake. Like, a lot of people like doing that, apparently. They take some, regular shoestring fries, dip it inside of a milkshake, and then they just eat it to get that sweet and salty sort of thing. Um, and that one I actually like. I actually like that one. That one's delicious, honestly. Slayer on Hunter says, I put soda in my plain rice. I don't know why I did that. Wow. Okay, that is very weird. Okay, I think that's worse, or not worse, but weirder than the hot dog. Because I would never guess frickin' plain rice. Oh, man. Slayer on Hunter says, man, I remember meeting Gaku Space in a Comic Con, but I never got to interact with him. Oh, really? Gordon Lai says, I always wanted to meet Weird Al. Oh, me too. I never met Weird Al, and I would love to meet Weird Al one day. Watch Pony, says Fanatic Mitchell. I also would love to meet Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart. Who's she again? Crap. I'm terrible with celebrities and their names. Like, I could remember characters, but I could not remember the actors who play them. Slayer Hunter also says, and yes, Asians. Asians love their rice. Okay, so that explains the rice and the soda. That would be funny. Well, I mean, like, well, then again, you said plain rice, so I guess maybe that's probably where the Asian like thing kind of came from, or where the Asian thing would be obvious. Because when I first read soda on rice, I was initially thinking Mexican rice, because Mexicans love eating rice too, but our rice is different. It's orange and it's kind of like fried rice, kind of like, yeah, kind of like chow mein, it's not chow mein, but fried rice. So it's puffier, it's orange, it's flavorful. Like, people eat that rice all the time, because Asians aren't the only ones that love rice. The Spanish love it too. Spanish rice, Mexican rice. Hell, even Americans, like, a lot of Southern cuisine and, soul food, very traditional American. A lot of that has a lot of rice as well, but their rice is also, spiced up with spices, Cajuns, peppers, that kind of stuff. It's delicious rice, and they mix it with like peas and carrots, they mix it all together. But yeah, that is delicious. Oh, wait, what's this? Um, Hey, I left 2 comments saying I got a new profile picture, but it won't appear. Why? Oh, is my filter on and it's probably like filtering self promo or something? Maybe that's what happened. But either way, Fanatic Mitchell, I see your new picture. That's very cool. Gordon Lai says, "Oh gosh, for me it was Korean barbecue short rib inside cherry Coca-Cola. I accidentally dropped it with my chopsticks while getting it on my plate." Ah, dude, I love Korean barbecue. And short rib is one of my favorite things, along with beef belly and bulgogi and squid. I love eating squid. I love just like freshly grilled squid for some reason. Um, there's this one Korean barbecue place that serves like this volcanic spicy pineapple chicken. It is so good. Like it is spicy, yet fruity and juicy. Ah, it's so good. It's like marinated in like this, like a spicy pineapple sort of like marinade, and it's delicious. Oh, what's this? Um, I would love to meet Taylor Edwards, someone from the Lion King movie, the original, not the remake. Ooh, that would be cool. If Lion King original is definitely one of my favorite childhood like Disney films, so I would also love to do that. Let's see. Fanatic Mitchell, Watch Pony. Melissa Joan Hart is Sabrina Spellman in the Sabrina sitcom and voiced her Aunt Zelda and Aunt Hilda in the 1999 animated series. Oh, that's who she is. Oh, very cool. Slayer 100 says, "Yes, I am Asian. We love rice." Nice. I actually love rice too, even plain rice. I actually like brown rice more than white rice, but I love rice too. I eat it like all the time. Watch Pony says, "Thanks. It's 2003 April O'Neil." Hell yeah. Um, Elijah Walton says, "I would love to meet Richard Dean Anderson and ask him what scene in Stargate 6 or SG-1 was the most physically demanding." Ooh, interesting. Um, so, this is all that's left in my box. I need to get my other ranch though. Because I still got like one more nugget here. Actually, I got like two nuggets. Is it weird that like for me, I'm not really too excited to meet celebrities anymore? It's because like I live in LA and I see celebrities all the time and future celebrities, people who are not quite celebrities just yet, but they're still like working towards it. Everybody's a musician, everybody's a singer, a dancer, an actor, actress. Everybody's working on their next film. And it kind of desensitized me. Like it made me not too excited about celebrities anymore. And instead, the celebrities that I do want to see are the celebrities that aren't that famous. Like, I would love to see YouTubers more than actors. Like, I would love to meet Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. Um, they're pretty big celebrities too, honestly, actually. But I would love to meet Sean Evans, the guy from Hot Ones, the interview show. Like, that would be super cool. I would love to meet the Living Tombstone. He's probably a celebrity at this point. I mean, he made that badass music video for Murder Drones. Like he blew up in the Pony fandom, blew up in the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, and then started his own music. And now he's like touring and performing and making shows and stuff. Like it's super dope. So yeah, I would love to meet Living Tombstone. I would love to meet I'd love to meet Smosh, like Ian and Anthony from Smosh. I would love to meet a lot of animators, honestly, like Jaden Animations. I would love to meet Jaden in real life. That would be super fun. Illumations would also be super fun. Alyssa. I would love to meet Rushline Invader. from Rush, Pink Poppy, who is kind of like a little less famous than the other animators, but he is so funny, and his channel is super funny. And he does animations for Jaden, so like he's kind of like more like just working for Jaden, but he is such a funny dude, and I'm like, dude, I would love to meet like his real name's Jordan, but everybody knows him as Pink Poppy. Oh. So yeah, like my celebrity list of people I would love to meet in real life. Actually, scratch that. There's plenty of musicians I would also love to see. I would love to meet Metallica, Lars, James, all of them. I would love to meet Korn, Fieldy, JD, Monkey. I would love to meet Deadmau5, Marshmello, some of my favorite DJs. I would love to meet Porter Robinson, super cool DJ. I would also love to meet Taylor Swift, just so I could rub it in all the Swifties' faces. I would love to meet. I would also love to meet. No celebrity athletes, honestly. I don't think I want to meet any celebrity athletes, except maybe Shaquille O'Neal, because one, he's super giant, and I would love to have that perspective of like standing right next to him, just because it's impossible to really perceive it. And two, because he's also a DJ, and he just looks like a really fun guy to like hang out with. Let's see. Let me catch up on the comments. Here we go. Slayer on Hunter. I want to meet Matt Mercer, Roger Craig Smith, Erica Harlinger, and Max Middleman. Nice. Taylor Edwards. For me, possibly the weirdest but coolest interaction I've had with a celebrity so far was meeting the voice of Stryker from Hell of a Boss. Ooh. Fanatic Mitchell. Watch Bunny. When I go to the convention, I'm going to post the photos in the Discord server. Nice. Gordon Lai. Matthew Broderick, a.k.a. Ferris Bueller, is the VA for Simba, just to let you know. Oh. Slayer on Hunter. My first ever meeting with a celeb is Rey Mysterio during 2018 when I got 2 autographs, 1 poster, and 1 is my drawing. Nice. Taylor Edwards. I'm not surprised considering you live in Hollywood, so you're used to seeing them all the time. Yes. Yes, I've met quite a few celebrities. I've met Josh Peck. I've met Leonardo DiCaprio. I've met Johnny Depp. I've met the whole cast from Jane the Virgin, which was awesome. I met Penn Jillette. I've met Zach King, the YouTuber. I'm pretty sure I ran into David Dobrik, but I just didn't realize it. I took a picture with Ninja without even noticing. Dash EXP as well. That's just 9 right off the bat. And I'm pretty sure I met others too. Or maybe people who are famous now that weren't famous back then. Fanatic Mitchell. It's like YouTubers are more popular than actors and voice actors nowadays. Taylor Edwards. The only YouTuber I ever met was the Nostalgia Critic, because he was at a Connecticut Comic-Con. I even asked him, have you ever thought about creating his own material like a book? And he said no. Oh, man. I wouldn't mind meeting Nostalgia Critic. That would be a pretty fun one. The one YouTuber I wanted to meet is Kev Jumba, as well as Ryan Higa. Oh, man. Ryan Higa. Ah, that's a name. That's a throwback. Taylor Edwards. It would be cool to meet you in real life. Oh, sweet. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. I'm glad you put me in your little book of celebrity. Or actually not really celebrity. Just someone cool to meet in real life. Digital Omninite is here. What's up, Digital Omninite? Elijah Walton says, I saw MLP fan art where Pip Pedals was on Hot Ones. Shame it wasn't real. Ah, dude, Pip Petals would totally be on Hot Ones. She would be one of those guests that would be like, I watch your show. I've been prepping for this my whole life. I am ready. And the whole time Sean Evans, as a pony, is like, how are you with spicy foods? And Pip would be like, I'm normally not into spicy foods, but I've been training really hard, so I think I'm ready. Anyways, Gordon Lai says, also Tay Zonday, the person who did Chocolate Rain. Nice. I would love to meet him too. Fanatic Mitchell, Watch Pony. Who were your celebrity crushes when you were younger? I never had any celebrity crushes growing up, even when I was a kid, because one, when I was a kid, I was very much like childish, because I'm a kid. And one of the childish things that I did when I was a little boy was I was like, girls have cooties. I was very much like, ew, girls, no. And, obviously grown up girls included that too. Because I was always kind of like men versus women as like friendly competition. And I was always like, girls rule, boys drool. And, I was on the opposite side. I was like, hey, that's not nice. Guys, boys don't drool. You girls stink. But you don't actually stink because girls smelled better. So I was very much on the band camp of like, ew, no, girls have cooties. Ew, girls. I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to talk to them. They'll let them go play with their dollies and stuff. Like, I was that kind of little boy, so I did not have any celebrity crushes. That, and I kind of knew that they were like TV people. They were TV movie people. So I I already knew that I was not going to be romantically involved with them. So I was already on the band camp of like, well, what's the point? I'm never going to see those people. They live far away from where I live. So I was already realistic as a little kid of where I was like, why should I fantasize about falling in love with this woman if she lives so far away, if she lives in TV land, you know? And, when I saw people on TV, my brain would automatically just assume that they're just so far away. They're like on the other side of the country in New York, Los Angeles. Growing up, I wasn't in Los Angeles, so I already knew that like they were somewhere completely different. Hollywood was like a fantasy land. Taylor Edwards says, I actually got to meet Sailor Moon and two people who played Sailor Mars. Oh, sweet. Slayer on Hunter says, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes for sports, Skillet for musicians, Dude Perfect and Markiplier, YouTubers, and Alejandro Saab, Sarah Miller, Cruz, Emil/Monarch for VA's Part 2. Wow. Slayer Hunter, are these all people that you want to see, or are these people that you've already met? Because that's pretty cool. Fanatic Mitchell says, Watch Pony, you met Josh Peck. I used to be a fan of him until Nickelodeon behind the scenes Dan Schneider crap, because Josh was paid not to tell those kids that they were being abused. Well, yeah. I mean, like, that's still not Josh Peck's fault. Like, back then, during those Dan Schneider days, Josh Peck was like the punching bag of the group. Because back then, Josh Peck was, like a fat kid. And they would pick on the fat kid so badly. Like, and because of that, like, he regularly got threatened. So he would get threatened about, like, losing his job, or about, like, getting hurt or getting bullied, or like, like it was awful. Like, holy crap. I still hate that freaking Dan Schneider got away with so much crap just because back then they did not give any of the victims any attention. And also because back then, the victims were kids and the kids didn't know any better. They were like, oh, I'm earning a crap ton of money, so I guess I'll put up with this abuse. Like, it was literal abuse. Like, honestly, I was watching a lot of those shows in Nickelodeon when I was a kid, wishing I could be one of them. I wanted to be on those shows, like The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, all that. And now that I'm hearing all of this crap afterwards, like during the production, I'm looking back at it now and I'm like, dude, I am so glad that I didn't get to do that. I'm so glad that I didn't get to deal with Dan Schneider, because he was the director for all of those shows. Disgusting. Anyways, Taylor Edwards, play When I Met Sailor Moon and I told her how Star vs. the Forces of Evil was inspired by her, even telling her that one of the characters was modeled after her, and she was so happy to hear that. Oh, nice. When I met the voice of number 1 and number 2 from Codename Kids Next Door, I found out he played Bond from The Seven Deadly Sins, the best character in my opinion from that show. Oh, sweet, that's cool. Gordon Lai says, if it's all the same, I've been ghosted one too many times already. You've been ghosted? Oh no. Being ghosted sucks. Yeah, I hate being ghosted too. I think everybody does. That's why you shouldn't ghost people. Because, if you don't ghost people, people don't end up ghosted, Like, it's simple logic. The only ghosting I believe are these kind of ghosts, because these are spooky little ghosts. Also, this is actually a Raising Cane's cup. I just bought it because it glows in the dark. So good. Slayron Hunter says, wanna see? Wanna see what? Elijah Walton, anyone met Tara Strong? I met Tara Strong, but I didn't line up for like an autograph or anything like that. She was like more expensive than the other VAs, but I did see her like at a convention before. Fanatic Mitchell says, watch Pony. I hope it wasn't Josh's fault. He was my favorite of Drake and Josh duo, and yes, I'm one of the people who like Josh more than Drake in that show. Honestly, the whole Drake and Josh situation is also another weird thing, because like Drake supposedly also went a little down the deep end and got in trouble with, like drugs, or, like had a celebrity crash out. Drake and Josh, kind of like started fighting, and now they don't talk to each other. And then like they're like, one person blames the other one blames the other person. And, like, I think Drake Bell got arrested too. Like, I don't remember. I don't pay attention to celebrity drama, but from what I hear now, they're kind of making amends now. They're kind of like just talking casually because, Josh also went through the ringer. He went through a lot of like dietary changes. He's still trying to be an actor, even though he's been known throughout his whole life as this kid actor who was just this awkward guy who was, fat and was a punching bag most of his life. Like, it was a lot. Both of them had a lot to deal with. But yeah, I do love the Drake and Josh duo, and I really do hope that they fight for friendship, for amendmentship, Anyways, Taylor Edwards, I say the one that suffered the most was Sam from iCarly. Her mother treated her like crap, and she was only free when her mother passed. Dude, yes. Oh my gosh. I actually bought her book. Her book that is literally called I'm Happy My Mom Died, or I'm Glad My Mom Died. Like, it's such a jarring statement to say that she slapped that on the front of the book because of how awful her mother was to her. Like, that's next level, like, awful person, orderly to be that kind of individual. Like, I swear. Like, and that's also another thing about kid actors that only kid actors deal with. Like, me living in LA, I'm in charge of my own life. So every gig, every job that I do, and every sort of like, people that I work with is all under my control. And I can vouch to be like, this guy's cool to work with. I want to work with them again. Or this guy was a nightmare to work with, and I do not want to work with this person ever. You know? But kid actors, they are at the mercy of their parents. And if they have terrible parents like Sam did, and Jessica McCarthy, if they had terrible parents like she did, they would force them to work more and more, or they would force them to work with this person or that person, or they would force them to do jobs that they don't want to do. Like, parents of child actors can also be absolute monsters, because it could also even be, for an extent, that the kids are doing all the work and the parents are keeping all of the money. You know, there are some parents that literally try to find legal loopholes and find like attorneys so they could legally keep the money for themselves and not give it to the kid who's literally working these long hours being an actor. And being an actor is not an easy job. I have. Taylor Edwards says, what gives me the creepiest that so much of these creepy people create such beloved shows. Oh yeah, the Hollywood world is full of creeps. And these creeps make good movies, you know? Like, it's good stuff. But yeah, that doesn't stop them from being creepy people. The celebs that I listed are the people that I wanted to meet, says Slayron Hunter. Gotcha. Fanatic Mitchell to Elijah Walton. I met Tara Strong at a convention, and I was so starstruck that I cried a little. I got a couple of autographs and a photo with her, and I wanted to meet her since 2013. Aw, that's sweet. Taylor Edwards. My best friend actually met Tara Strong, and I'm so jealous of him. Fanatic Mitchell. Watch Pony. I wasn't referring to them as people. I was referring to them as Drake and Josh, the show. I was preferred just because he was more level-headed and more reliable, and Drake was more funny but dumb. Oh, you're just talking about their characters. Well, when it comes to Drake and Josh, like, as the show, like, as their characters, they're both just silly, you know? Obviously, the best character in that show is Melissa McCarthy's character, Megan, because actually, growing up watching that show, I hated Megan because she was such a brat. But now that I'm looking back at Megan, I'm like, dude, Megan is such an evil mastermind. Like, she's such a genius. Like, she was the girl boss before girl bosses were a thing. Like, you know, she had her two brothers wrapped around her finger like that. It was so funny. But anyways, yeah, Melissa McCarthy, big props to her too. She also went through a lot during iCarly. Here we go. I meant Josh, not just. Elijah Walton. Drake and Josh need ponies to teach them the magic of friendship. Taylor Edwards. The man who inspired Peter Pan and the guy who played Peter Pan in the Disney movies were both typecasted because of that role, and it ended up dying tragically at a young age? Wait, what? You mean the actors who played Peter Pan died at a young age? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Taylor Edwards says, when I met the voice of Veronica from Hell of a Boss, I actually gave her a present. Oh, wait. Wait, Veronica or Verosica? Verosica is Verosica is the celebrity, the lust girl, the freaking succubus. And I'm trying to remember, who's the other one? The one that Kesha voiced. Can't remember. And I actually gave her a present. Oh, that's so cool. Fanatic Mitchell says, watch Pony, I'm about to go to Walmart, so I'll talk to you next weekend. All right, Fanatic Mitchell, have fun at Walmart. Slayron Hunter says, there is Yuri Lowenthal, Tara Platt, Laura Bali, Laura Post, and Jason Griffith. Ooh, Are those more people on your list? Gordon Lai says, there are some VAs that can be obnoxious jerks. Apparently enough, Sean Schemmel, the VA for Goku, he refused to do a line with his Goku voice. Oh. Oh, I meant to say Veronica. She played Beelzebub. Okay, yes. So Veronica is the succubus who is a pop star, and Veronica is Beelzebub. So she is the one that's voiced by Kesha. So Taylor Edwards, you met Kesha? Is that what you're saying? Or did you meet Veronica? Slayman Hunter says, oh, when I saw Genji's VA/Gaku space, I just froze and he gave me a wink. Oh, that's funny. You know what's the funniest part? Is that I know a lot of these people. Like right now, The Amazing Digital Circus is super popular. And Lizzie Freeman used to go by the name of Miss Bunny Swan, was somebody I regularly interviewed and had a chat with. We went out for ice cream a couple of times. We hung out at PonyCons. She's the voice of Pomni, and now she's like super famous right now. Well, actually, she was already getting famous because she was already in like Genshin Impact and she was already in like other shows too. But it's so funny because I see people like Michael Kovac just chilling in the conventions and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're Jax. Oh my gosh, you're N from Murder Drones. Oh, I love you, Michael Kovac. And I'm like, that's so funny because like, I know this guy. Yeah. You know what I want to do? I want to be a voice actor, but I want to be a voice actor for a glitch show. Because if I am a voice actor for a glitch show like Digital Circus or Knights of Guinevere or Murder Drones, I would have so many fans. I can already call it right now. I meant to say Veronica. She played Beelzebub. I met the voice of Veronica, and I was just telling you who did Ketchup play in Hell of a Boss. So you met Kesha? That's amazing. I love Kesha. I would love to meet Kesha. I'm going to be honest on that way too. When I was talking to the celebrity that Connecticut Comic-Con, I was stuttering because I was so excited to meet them because they impacted my life. Yeah. And that's honestly why I don't shame fans for, being super excited about meeting their VAs. Like, it's not a weird thing. Like, and I'm never trying to shame people for it because honestly, like, sometimes when life is tough and you have like so many things against you right now, you watch a show that just gives you such a nice relief or gives you a break. Oh, excuse me. That it literally affects you emotionally, And, if you ever want to meet a person who can connect you to that series, connect you to that one character that you relate with, connect you with that one episode that hit you the most, connect you with just that one series that gives your brain like happiness and joy, like that is totally fine. Like it's absolutely beautiful to have the feeling of meeting somebody who is a part of a project that changed you so much, made you into a very big fan, made you into more of a made you change your life into a different direction or, all sorts of things. Like, it's honestly a really beautiful thing, and I really love it. Slayron Hunter says, it is weird to me that the voice of Furina from Genshin had voiced a character in Honey Pop. I have no idea who either one of those are. But I did hear that Honey Pop is like a not safe for work game. So it's kind of like the equivalent of having a cartoon character also star in like an adult film sort of thing. But hey, that actors are actors. Sometimes they just got to do that. Do you know, Taylor Edwards? Do you know I was angry at myself for stuttering, but they said, "Girl, it's okay." Oh yeah, and don't be mad at yourself. I mean, people stutter, and when you stutter, you know, you can't help it. Sometimes the body do be stupid like that. But I'll be honest. If I was a celebrity or a voice actor and I saw one of my fans stuttering, I would take it as extremely flattering because it makes me feel like I'm so important. It really is a good. It's like a compliment. It's a compliment when you stutter in front of people that you really admire. Elijah Walton, the VA of the animated Peter Pan, went to being a crime boss after being abandoned. The Sweet Pete character in the Chip and Dale movie was based off of that tragic story. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Are you talking about that live action Chip and Dale movie where they had like cartoons in the real world? And they had, the subplot of Peter Pan hitting puberty. And, he actually ended up being kind of like low-key, like the villain of that film. That was real? That was based off of the real-life actor? The real-life actor ended up actually being a crime boss? That I did not know. Wow, I learned something new. Taylor Edwards says, yes, definitely. It's because of the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that I learned about his tragic fate, and it is not fair what happened to him, and I'm mad at Disney for doing that to him. Wait, Disney made him into a crime boss? I need to look up the details for that one. How did Disney get involved in... Let me actually read that. Peter Pan went to being a crime boss after being abandoned, and the Sweet Pete character in the Chip and Dale movie was based off of that tragic story. Okay, so Disney abandoned the kid actor of Peter Pan, and because of that, he became a crime boss? That one I feel like is not entirely Disney's fault, okay? Because there's a lot of actors who starred in Disney movies and then never get work ever again. Like they never work for Disney ever again, But they don't have to resort to a life of crime. Like I feel like if he resorted to a life of crime, that's still kind of his fault, But again, I have never even heard of this story, so don't take my word for it. I need to look this up. Because now I'm intrigued. Gordon Lai says, I know she doesn't attend brony conventions anymore, but I would love to meet Lauren Faust one last time. The last time I met her was in the very last BronyCon in 2019. Ah, yes, I met Tara Strong. Not Tara Strong. I met Lauren Faust. I asked her about Vinyl Scratch, and I had her sign my megaphone. Like, it's amazing. I love Lauren Faust. She's such a cool person. DJ Hazardous is here. Hello, DJ Hazardous. Taylor Edwards would need me happy with telling them that because of the roles he played on TV or movie made me want to be a storyteller. Ah, that's cool. Gordon Lai. It took me 6 hours to meet Lauren Faust, and the only regret I have is not signing my BronyCon exclusive scarf. Aw. Slayrun Hunter. Okay, now I want to meet Chris Evans, because he impacted me twice. I was in the Human Torch, my cousin group, and I watched Captain America for the first Avenger on my 11th birthday. Oh, wow, that's so cool. Taylor Edwards. What happened after he got older? He got kicked out of Disney. He tried to be a serious actor, but didn't work out. He ended up dying of an overdose at 33 years old. Dude, I'm 33 years old. I'm an actor who can't get any work at Disney. I could die right now, but I won't because I eat fast food instead of drugs. Again, that is the fate. That is how Hollywood works. Sometimes you get one role, and that one role is all you get, and nobody else wants to give you work ever again. That's just Hollywood. It is sad, though, that he ended up getting caught up with drugs. Like, if anything, the drugs is probably what killed him, not the lack of work. And if anything, the drugs is probably what made him not get any work in Hollywood. Because, yeah, like, that's the sad fate of a lot of actors. A lot of actors. Um, Actually, for the longest time, the actor who had that problem the most was Daniel Radcliffe, the boy who played Harry Potter. He was Harry Potter for 8 years, or for 8 movies. And when he decided to not make Harry Potter movies anymore, and he still wanted to be a an actor, he struggled so hard to find any roles because everybody knows him so well as Harry Potter. But eventually, Daniel Radcliffe did end up finding some work. And Daniel Radcliffe is actually a pretty successful actor. In fact, I think he even directed a few movies now. So, hey, like, if a guy like him can break out of, the child actor curse, then anyone can, like anyone out of all the people. Because, dude, yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, like, him being Harry Potter is absolutely like the best way to be only known for that one role ever. And then there's also the celebrities who milk their fame. I mean, they literally joke about it in the Chip and Dale movie, like, Dale, he starred in Chip and Dale in that movie, and he goes to conventions as only being known as Dale from his show. He never got any acting roles after that either. And he even got like surgery to become CGI, and he still doesn't get any work. But he's still just milking his fame for, still being, a part of the the whole thing. And according to that movie, he tried to go solo doing the Double O Dale thing and ruined his whole career because of it. But you know what he did not do? He did not get into drugs. And because he did not get into drugs, he's still alive and he's still trying to be an actor, even though he hasn't started anything besides Chip and Dale. BRB got bed bugs. Oh, you got bed bugs. All right, Slayer on Hunter, take care. And also Slayer on Hunter says, yes, drugs are the worst killers, or the worst fates. Yes. And I also am very well aware that fast food is a slow killer, Elijah Walton. That's why I don't eat this all the time. I only eat this very rarely. Usually once a week because I have to do my Let's Have Lunch. So this live stream always makes it look like I'm always eating fast food, but no. I only eat fast food once a week, and it's, on camera. Every other meal, I never eat fast food. Not only that, the boy who inspired Peter Pan was so sick and tired of everyone comparing him to the little boy who never grew up. He couldn't take it anymore, and he took his own life. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very tragic thing. And obviously, just because I'm, keeping the blame off of Disney, doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting the guy. I mean, but you need to understand that this trying to pin this on Disney is not really the cause. And, there's no real cause because he ended up taking his own life. The thing you need to understand about these scenarios is that when one takes their own life, it is their own decision to make it. And what led to that choice is the thing that we need to learn and take away from at the end of the day. We need to be more considerate of other people's careers, of how important their job is to themselves. Because, for the actor of Peter Pan, he probably was he was so dependent on wanting to find more work after Peter Pan, but he also was extremely frustrated and hated constantly being compared to his old work. And again, the big thing, drugs, never get into drugs. In Hollywood, as whatever job you work at, if you get into drugs, your problems that you have inside your head, the arguments that you have inside your head, they end up becoming so much worse that you're very much extremely likely to, end your own life. And that's just a tragic thing, So yeah, definitely. I definitely want to say, it's not Disney's fault that Peter Pan died, but I I definitely wish that Peter Pan lived in a world that was a little more conscious about mental health, because, if he had rehabilitation, if he went to rehab, if he would have met some people like professionals and a therapist to help get his thoughts straight, he would have been alive right now. And that's honestly such a shame. And I really hate that. DJ Hazardous says, I like the fact that we can see the WP Pony plush just chilling on there. Sadly, I never got my OC statue due to the Ukraine war. Oh no. Oh, you could see my pony statue? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, right there, chilling next to Gengar and Rainbow Dash. And Kane from the amazing Digital Circus. Sometimes it is not the drugs that will always cause people around them. Like Dorothy from the original Wizard of Oz, her mother and the studio treated her like crap during the Wizard of Oz. Dude, everybody hated the Wizard of Oz. It was so much drama. I've never heard so much drama coming out of a film before. I was watching this 40-minute, documentary about how the Wizard of Oz was actually a nightmare production. All the actors hated working there. The director hated directing it. The author of the book absolutely hated the way they butchered his story. And yet people were working on it because they were pioneering an absolute marvel. And that's what Hollywood made it. They made it into this movie of it's one of the first films to ever be shot in color, and the transition is amazing, and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Meanwhile, everybody's freaking doing coke in the back too. There was a lot of drugs in early Hollywood too, which was also just scary. Scary to think about. So yeah, Taylor Edwards, sometimes it's not the drugs that will always cause its people around them. Yeah, sometimes it's not. But in early Hollywood, drugs was 90%. Because yeah, drug problems was definitely a huge problem in Wizard of Oz. So much abuse, so much fighting, and so much drugs. Taylor Edwards says, Frank Bond, I didn't live to see that movie get made. It was on the studio that put Judy Garland on the drugs to make her appear like a child because Dorothy the book was a child. Because Dorothy in the book was a child. Wait, what? The studios wanted Judy Garland on drugs? Oh my gosh, this story just gets even worse. Another big problem I see with people when it comes to celebrities, a lot of times you only know them for one role and no other. For example, I only know Jeremy Irons from The Lion King. Yeah. And you could imagine that, people who, actors who are real people don't like being compared to just their one character that they played that one time, So yeah, that's another frustrating thing that people do. Because yeah, like creepy directors like Dan Schneider, horrible producers like the producers of Wizard of Oz who are telling people to be on drugs literally for the acting role, fellow actors who, find struggle after their, roles have been played. That's already tough enough. But fans, it's there's so many fans that are awesome, so many fans that are great. We were talking this whole time about how fans doing meet and greets and conventions is such a fun thing. But there are also fans who are downright awful. And there are fans who will call their actors by their names of their characters instead of their real names. I think one of the worst ones that had it for a good while is Rain Wild. I think his name is Rain Wild. Like I said, I don't follow celebrities. But he's the actor who played Dwight Schrute from The Office. And he would meet so many people who recognize him out on the streets, He's just doing his grocery shopping or whatever. And then fans walk up to him and he's like, oh my gosh, you're Dwight. And then you're like, no, Dwight is a character I play. My real name is Ryan Wilson. And then they're like, Dwight, come on, take a picture. And they start treating him like Dwight. And it's really insulting.
It's really insulting to the guy who's just an actor, who was just getting paid to do a role. You know, I mean, I'm sure he loved to play Dwight, but he's not like that in real life, you know? Because that's another thing too. Like, and YouTubers get this treatment a lot too, you know? They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're Jaden Animations. Oh my gosh, are you gonna make jokes about Arizona? Are you gonna like be like anxious like you are in your videos?" Like, no. People aren't like that in real life. People are just people, and you gotta not think of them as freaking characters that you see them from. Like, that's one thing that fans do that annoy celebrities. The other thing are stalkers. Stalkers and people who like refuse to leave them alone, or even the most horrific thing that I heard of just now, recently at TwitchCon. Emma Richu, one of the biggest online creators and reactors, like frickin' got assaulted by a guy who tried to kiss her. And there was no security that stopped him until like he was practically like all up in her face. Like, it took a fun thing like a fan meet and greet and absolutely ruined it for everybody just because this one guy wanted to be a creep. Like, oh my gosh, it was awful. And that literally happened just now, like literally like last week or something like that. To Emma Richu, who had to pay for her own security guards for Comic-Con or TwitchCon. Like, it was so bad. Like, my gosh. Anyways, DJ Hazardous. Yeah, those early generations were crazy because it's believed drugs is what contributed to the beginning huge success of German army in World War II. Wow. I swear, man, drugs are so bad. That's why I don't do drugs. The closest thing I have to drugs is like literally this, fast food. It's addictive like drugs. Elijah Walton. As far as YouTubers go, I'd love to meet Steve Terraberry. He's a Canadian musician who does comedic videos exposing fake guitarists, and a bunch of other music-related videos. Oh, that's cool. Taylor Edwards. It is people like that always ruin it for everybody else, who can't tell the difference between a character and an actual person. Yep. Gordon Lai says, again, the only drugs I need is ponies, anime, manga, and the occasional play of airsoft. Otherwise, say no to them. Yes. Say no to drugs, kids, because they're not even cool in the first place. Coffee has caffeine, which is a drug, but I still get sleepy. Yeah, caffeine is the one drug that, honestly, America is cool with having. If anything, people encourage it. Because, like, I try my best to avoid caffeine. I don't like it. Caffeine doesn't really wake me up either, so it's kind of like, what's the point? So I don't drink any coffee. I also don't drink any Red Bulls, Mountain Dews, or energy drinks, Monsters, none of that. I don't drink any energy drinks, but I still consume caffeine because they sneak caffeine into things like soda. Like, I love a good Coca-Cola, and that thing has tons of caffeine in it. So I'm drinking caffeine from a Coke, and I'm like, I don't even feel different, but I'm still putting so much caffeine. And it's true. Caffeine is a drug, you know? And I'm like, how the hell is this caffeine in every drink that we have? For adults, it's coffee. For adults with taste, it's tea, because tea also has caffeine, unless you want to look for specifically caffeine-free tea. For young adults, you know, there's energy drinks like Red Bulls and Monsters. For kids, it's sodas like Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. They all have caffeine. So it's kind of like, if you want to avoid caffeine, it's actually a bit of a challenge. You have to drink like nothing but like juice or water. And yet in America, in the US, Soda, coffee, and energy drinks are like the most popular drinks and the most like sold and the easily accessible drink like out there. It's insane. Let's see. What's this? Taylor Edwards says, I will admit sometimes it is hard, like with YouTubers, that I only know them by their YouTube name and not their real name. Well, that one's tricky too, because some YouTubers don't even like to say their real name online. You know, a lot of YouTubers actually use their internet personality to kind of hide themselves, kind of like a VTuber, you know? There's a lot of VTubers who, you know, you don't know what they look like in real life because they have, you know, an anime character to kind of be the face. And they also like to use a different name. So sometimes people have different names online than in real life because they want that privacy, you know? And so whenever they do that, it's okay to call them by their character name because, you know, they don't want you to know their real name, you know? But, you know, a lot of the times it's still very much the same thing, you know? A lot of the YouTubers do want to be known as people and want to be treated as people, not as characters from their content, you know? Taylor Everett says, "Our only drink Pepsi because of the caffeine, because it's good to get rid of a headache." Yep, that's another thing too. Yeah, caffeine can help with headaches, apparently. I don't get headaches, so I don't have that problem. Oh, I flipped my hair. If your body is already used to caffeine, that ain't a good sign to take a break from all the caffeine for a while. Yeah, but could you imagine, like I said, that literally for kids it's soda, for young adults it's energy drinks, for adults it's coffee, and for another alternative for adults it's tea. Like all of those have caffeine, so it's kind of like American culture and our drinks already hook us up to caffeine at a young age, you know? Have you guys tried Starbucks cold brew coffee? Nah, like I said, I don't like coffee, so I don't like. The only thing I like from Starbucks is frappuccinos because those taste kind of like milkshakes. Insert my little soda pop. My little soda pop, my little soda pop. Yeah. If you like my body and you think I sexy, I want you to let me know. My little soda pop. Oh. Hello, NCFB. Apparently YouTube shows your handle now instead of your channel's name. I'm Taylor. Oh, Taylor. Hello there, Taylor. Yeah, I was wondering why your name's different. I heard magnesium helps in headaches. Oh, really? Again, I don't really get a lot of headaches, and I'm so glad that I don't. But yeah, that's good to know. In case I get a headache, I'll look out for magnesium next time I take like an Advil or a Tylenol. Taylor Everett, I agree. I do not like coffee. I hate the taste. Why'd you put a beer there? Do you like the taste of beer? Because, fun fact, I also hate the taste of beer. I don't like the taste of coffee. I used to hate the taste of tea. Now I've gotten a little bit better at it. I hate the taste of beer. Beer tastes awful. Like, I tried all sorts of beers. Ales, Pinesters, Pilsners, dark brews, light brews, whatever. Like bottled beers, tap beers. They all taste awful. They all taste like garbage. DJ Hazard is pretty much the reason I don't or ever will show my face is because not something worthwhile. I've been slowly getting comfortable with my voice, but that's about it. For a while, Watch Pony didn't have a face either. I started showing my face more just because, well, one, I'm already used to the camera because, I live in Hollywood. I work as an actor sometimes. And, like having my face out is kind of like an identifier. It's who I am, So, but like I said, there's a lot of really famous and successful people who don't show their face because either their content does the work for them or their content hides their face specifically. Like, like I say, Storytime animators, the Jaden Animations, the Odd Ones Out, Illumations, Let Me Explain Studios, Rebecca Parham, all of them, they do a pretty good job of not being recognized in public because most people recognize them only from their cartoons, you know, so they could recognize their cartoons, they could recognize their animation styles, but they can't recognize their faces unless they're super fans because, you know, these people have put their faces out on the internet so people know how they look like. But like, you know, you have to be really you have to be really into them to know that, you know. And you also have to be really into them to be able to spot them in public and be like, "Hey, wait a minute. You're James from Odd Ones Out, right?" Like that was really funny. Oh, I only put there to symbolize a drink. True. I was watching Dragon Ball Z, so I didn't notice you were going live. Oh, well, sweet. Yeah, I've gone live. I've practically finished my food, so I'm just snacking on the curly fries right now. Because honestly, this monster munchie meal was a bit of a letdown. I mean, all they gave me was the regular stuff. Like, there's nothing new. There's nothing new in this thing. They just gave me the regular tacos, the regular curly fries, and the regular chicken nuggets and an egg roll. That's it. Like, where's the Halloween? I want a Halloween monster munchie meal. But no, they gave me this just a regular munchie meal. Like, come on, Jack in the Box. It's Halloween. Get in the Halloween spirit. As do I. I do not like alcohol. Taylor Edwards. A lot of manga creators in Japan are famous, but they refuse to reveal their face for safety reasons. Honestly, who can blame them? Yep, very true. Anyways, I gotta go. War against bedbugs. All right, Slay Run Hunter. Good luck with the bedbugs. Show 'em who's boss. Burger King has a monster meal. Well, Taylor Edwards, I had Burger King last week. You could check it on the channel. Last week, I ate Burger King's Jack in the Box, not Jack in the Box, Jack-o'-lantern Whopper, which was like an orange Whopper with orange buns and black seeds, which looked pretty cool. And these vampire nuggets that were shaped like vampire fangs and vampire bats. And I think that's it. They had a monster like ice cream shake too, but I didn't buy that because I didn't really want ice cream. Elijah says, I heard sodas led to gas production and have consumed a lot, making me a toot symphony. For me, soda doesn't really become gas down on my butt. It becomes more like gas out my mouth, aka burping. So I end up burping a lot when I drink soda, which honestly is probably the big reason why I love soda so much. Sometimes when you're eating food and you feel so bloated, a good burp will really make all that food just settle down so much better, you know. I wouldn't mind being famous on the internet, says Taylor, but I would make sure people cannot connect anything to IRL. Okay, so you would be famous online, but you would kind of go the animator route and hide your face, kind of like that. Yeah, that's the avenue I would love to do too. But my face is already out here, you know. So I'm facing that risk of being publicly called out online or people recognizing me on the streets, and it has happened a couple of times too. People are like, "Wait a minute, hey, are you Watch Pony?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yes, I am." Then they're like, "Dude, I love your videos," and I'm like, "Thank you, that's amazing. It's amazing that you recognize me." You know, but hey, LA is a big place, you know, so sometimes you do run into people who do actually know you. DJ Hazardous says, not sure if Popeyes is still doing the Hot Ones collab, but you should go for a Popeyes. As a matter of fact, you should have had a backup meal just in case the first meal is a letdown. Dude, I would love that, but one, fast food is expensive, and two, I have to eat the food. Like, I don't want to pay for 2 meals and then eat one meal and then be full and not be able to eat the other. But I have heard of that collab, the Hot Ones collab. That does sound really fun, and I really want to do it. And if anything, maybe I'll do it next week. So hopefully next week I'll do the Popeyes Hot Ones collab because yeah, that is a fun one. But I wanted to make sure it was Halloween themed. That's the bigger thing. Soda after pizza feels awesome. Oh yeah, absolutely. Soda and a burger are really good. Soda and a pizza are really good. Ugh. You see that? That was a burp. And oh my gosh, I feel so much better. You see? That's the magic of soda. But yeah, soda goes with good with a lot of things actually. But you know, soda just can't go with baked goods. Like if I'm eating like a slice of cake or if I'm eating like a muffin or you know like a biscuit or something like that, I definitely do not want a soda. Like if anything, I would want like a glass of milk maybe or maybe like an iced coffee, you know, with a crap ton of sugar and cream because I don't like coffee that's just black. But yeah, like that is something I would love. But soda goes well with a lot of foods. Like I love soda with my pasta, I love soda with my steak, I love soda with my burgers, with my sandwiches, with my pizzas. Like soda is a really good drink. I like soda and water. Those are like my top two because I'm still a hydro homie. Taylor Edwards, I would love to be famous publisher, but I would definitely use my pen name to protect my identity. Ooh, that's a good one. Pen names, or as we in Hollywood like to call them, stage names. Because yeah, stage names is the more popular term. When I first heard of Popeyes, I was always thinking of, oh, what's this? You know, when I first heard of Popeyes, I was always thinking of Popeye the Sailor, and I wondered why the restaurant didn't get sued for using the Popeyes name. Well, that's because you can't sue people for a name. Names can't be copyrightable. I mean, like, there's so many restaurants that have names by other people, you know? Like, there's literally a restaurant called, like, Rick's Dine-In, and, you know, Rick is the same name as Rick and Morty, you know? People call McDonald's Mickey D's, and, you know, Mickey is, you know, owned by Disney, but they can't do anything about it. It's because you can't sue people for a name. Like, names are for everybody. Everybody can have a name, you know? Like, what if the owner of Popeyes, what if his real name was Popeyes? And, you know, Popeye is just a name that his parents gave him. Like, you know, he can't be cheated out of it. So that's the big reason, is because it's a name. You can't sue people for a name. Have DJ Hazardous. I wonder what limited time sodas will be released for this year's Halloween season or holiday season. I know for a fact they already released some special edition cans of like Freddy Fazbear, Chucky, Jason, or Ghostface, like on specially marked Fantas and Cokes. Like that's really fun. How about an ice cream float? Ooh, I would love an ice cream float. Maybe I'll do that next week too. Taylor says, I guess the acid in the soda helps break down the fats in greasy food, which is why I assume it feels good. That too, yeah. But for me, it's mostly the carbonation, the gas, because yeah, once that all that bubbliness goes down and it goes into your stomach, all of the gas kind of like accumulates and it helps it go up, which helps you not feel as bloated. And then, you know, you burp and then you're like, ooh, that feels good, you know, because that too. Have you ever used AI to talk to pony chatbots? No, I don't even use AI to chat with AI like at all because I talk to real people. I don't know. The pony chatbots or AI chatbots in general, they just give me the same stupid response. And I ask them some pretty interesting questions, you know, but they always are like, that's an interesting question. Well, consider this or consider that. Like, no, come on. I want creativity, you know. That's why I like talking to people more. People have actually gotten sued for using a name. Like originally Luna was supposed to be Celine, but they couldn't because of the girl from the Wizard Show. Well, that's not a restaurant. That's a show. With shows, it's different. With shows, studios do have a little bit more power. Hence why there's not a lot of characters named Mickey. but there is plenty of characters named Freddy. We have Freddy from Scooby-Doo dealing with Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's, also dealing with Freddy, he doesn't have a last name. Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. They're all named Freddy, but they can't sue each other because Freddy is too specific of a name, So, Celine. Celine was from a Wizards show. Celine, I don't think is that unique of a name, because it is true. If a name is a little too similar to somebody else, it would be a problem and they would get sued. But that's a very rare case, like unless your name is literally called like Mickey Mouse, then you can't. I'm guessing because Celine is a one worded name, that Celine maybe is a little bit too tied to the Wizard show. So I guess maybe that's why they didn't do that. But yeah, Luna is also everywhere too. I mean, we have Luna from My Little Pony, but we also have a Luna from Sailor Moon, and they can't sue each other because Luna is literally the Spanish word for moon. So like, yeah, good luck trying to sue people with that. Sometimes, yeah, like unless you could like trademark your name, you're not going to be able to sue at all. I'm guessing that's what Disney did with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Minnie Mouse and all of them. Like, I'm pretty sure they trademarked their name, so that way they're not able to, use their names, in other shows. But for generic names that have been used for ages, like Freddy, you absolutely cannot claim ownership of that name because everybody has a Freddy. There's always a Fred, Fred Flintstone, that's another one. That's another cartoon Freddy, you see? Patrick Schwarzenegger looks too much like Arnold Schwarzenegger. The funny thing is Nightmare Moon was originally called Discord, but the studio said no. But in the end, we got Discord that we all know and love today. Well, that one just makes more sense. I mean, like, Nightmare Moon is meant to be the opposite of daytime, It's kind of like nighttime, Whereas Discord is, chaos, and that doesn't have to deal with nighttime in general. That's just a smarter decision. It's a smarter choice to call someone Nightmare if their whole deal is about the night and the moon and, having it be nighttime, Discord just sounds like a weird name, if their whole bit is about them being nighttime, So that one I think just makes sense. That one the studio did the right job because, yeah, Discord's a much better name for chaos, which is what we got. With the chaos character Discord. Like, he represents not nighttime, but literally just madness in general. DJ Hazardous says, I can't wait for November to arrive. 2 movies that I'm looking forward to, Predator Badlands and Sisu 2. Ooh, interesting. Taylor says, I gotta go to sleep. Good night. All right, Taylor, good night. I actually gotta call it a night too. We reached our 90-minute timer. And I still haven't even finished my food. I still have a bunch of these curly fries, but honestly, I'm already full. I don't need to eat more curly fries. I'm good. So, another time, I think the studio made the right call was cutting the scene in The Lion King where Scar wanted to propose to Nala, but they were allowed to keep that scene in the musical. Oh, I remember that. I remember seeing that scene in the musical. And yeah, I agree. That was another smart choice. That scene probably would have made the movie a little bit longer. It wasn't that necessary. The song was okay, but yeah, it was also kind of creepy too. Because, and this is my page, and honestly, it should be everyone's page. But if you're an adult and you witness a child, and that child grows up to become an adult, but you have feelings for that said, like, former child, that is very creepy in my book. And and very, very, very pedo vibes, and I do not approve. Like that is very gross. So I that's another reason why I approve that it's not that they should cut that from the original film. I do not understand why they thought it was okay to do that and the Lion King remake. I understand Lion King's inspired by Hamlet, but Hamlet is not a kids movie. Steve Terraberry did a video on AI music generators. Oh man, I hate AI generated music. It's like it's like so similar to like real music, but it's still off and it doesn't even sound that good. But the worst part is that they're clouding up more music online and all over like places like Spotify and YouTube, where we already have so many musicians who are trying to like get their music out into the world. And AI generated crap is just getting in the way and just, stealing more attention away from potential listeners, and it sucks. But anyways, yeah. Crazy world. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I think we're going to call it a day. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we'll have some spooky videos out this week as I totally try to work out some more videos this week. So thank you so much. I am feeling a lot better this week, so hopefully I'll be able to edit some videos for you guys, because yeah, I've been sick for the past few weeks, so that's why I haven't uploaded anything. Oh my gosh. Demon Godslayer, what? What the heck? You finally got here right when I was about to end the stream. I'm already at 90 minutes. Let's see. Taylor Edwards, I definitely agree. I hate AI. AI is not real art. It's not made by a real person, and it's not hard, plain and simple. Gordon Lai says, just to let you know, K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be in theaters again this Halloween weekend. Ooh, fun. Elijah Waltons, he made fun of these generators. Demon Godslayer, question of the day. Would Watch Pony date another Watch Pony? And if so, which Watch Pony would date another Watch Pony? DJ Hazardous, all right, see you all next week. Yeah, see y'all next week. All right. But yeah, if anything, maybe I'll play a little Marvel Rivals on Twitch because I want to try that new zombie mode. So I'll see you guys later. New videos coming soon. Look forward to that. And happy Halloween, everybody. I'm at the trampoline place, so that's my bad. All right, Demon Godslayer, have fun at the trampoline place. All right, see y'all next week. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Till next time, and remember, stream never bothered me anyways. Bye-bye.